So with this sort of a background, let us try to understand this Punarjanma. So what is Punarjanma? Punarjanma is the chance is more than once. It is not a single life. I mean, this is again a very big difference between Sanatana Dharma and other religions. In other religions, they all have assumed only one life. In Sanatana Dharma, it says, no, that's illogical, that's not possible. That cannot explain some mysteries which we find a 1-year-old boy doing things we do not know where from he learnt, how did it come into him, and so on. So it solves a lot of logical fallacies. It's also fair. So Sanatana Dharma is built on the edifice of reincarnation, Punarjanma. This is a very robust framework which we need to understand. It has all the components which I talked about in the previous slide. Before that, we will go to this. Swami Vivekananda was asked this question: why is God so cruel? For no fault of a child, she is born in a poor family, ridden with diseases, whatever, ... So many things. The answer Vivekananda gave was very simple. So for this common question, he gave an uncommon answer. He said, when the heavens open, there is a good rain. Do a monsoon time, the heavens open and then, it pours. Simply such a beautiful, we are already experiencing it in Bangalore off and down. Heaven opens, it simply pours. Now the question is, you had 1 acre of land, your neighbor had 1 acre of land, your neighbor had tilted the ground, prepared it so beautifully, he was waiting for the rain to come. When the rain came, he put some plantation crops and then made tons of money out of it. What did you do? You fenced the 1 acre, left it unattended. So there were a lot of weeds and so on. So when the rain poured, the weeds grew in terrific measure and you ended up spending a considerable money to clean it. Your friend spent a lot of money, earned. He actually earned a lot of money, you spent a lot of money. So Vivekananda asked, is it the fault of the rain or is it fault of your preparation of the ground? So every one of us in our family, in our game of life, we have to prepare the ground. And to the extent what you have prepared the ground, because the heavens open and give you the same thing. It all depends on what did you do with that and what did the other person do with that. So that is how Vivekananda answered. So the onus is not with God anymore. I'll come to it in good detail. Sanatana Dharma beautifully has laid all these possibilities. So now we'll try to understand these rules of this game of life as laid out by Sanatana Dharma. First of all, our life is a going concern. This is a term, there is one charter accountant sitting on the other side. I should not, talk too much about all these things. He is better. There is something called a going concern. Or, if you start an enterprise, start a business, basic assumption they make is the business will happen forever. It's called a going concern. It's like that. Our game of life is an eternal journey. It's not one chance. Adi Shankara says, Shata Koti Janmasu. It's a fairly a long journey. That's the first principle. Moment you say it is a going concern, you need certain enabling features. And in our game of life, first thing is a Janma is just a baby step in this long journey. Don't think in this Janma everything is over. In fact, many things that we do in our life, somehow this thinking of one Janma has overpowered us because that is what we have been taught, that is what we are living through, although we may claim to be Sanatana Dharmins. No. We never understand death is just a comma. For us, death is just a comma, not a full stop. If you take this idea, Janma is just a baby step in this long journey. Moment you say a continuity, I need a continuity on two grounds. One, A should not do a crime and B should not get a punishment. So I have to be tagged now. There must be a barcode on me. And with that barcode, you can catch me if I come later. So I need a continuity of the person and I need the continuity of the accounts. That's what business enterprises do. You need to create continuity of the accounts. Debits and credits are all to be carried over. You cannot, wipe it off and go. I mean, you can't just leave it like that and go. Then you need, since it's a journey, you need a path for progress, and you need a learning mechanism. If you put all these, then this game of life is worth playing. And this game of life is a little more fairer than the other possibility. So let us look at the difference between a going concern and an eternal journey, which is a game of life. So in any, we teach this. This is called, management, financial accounting 101, first level. We tell that for every company there is something called a profit and loss account. For this year, for the year ending 31st March 2020, which means 1st April 1919 to 31st March 2020, what did I do? Did I make money? What is my income? What is my expenditure? And net to net, what happened finally? Is it positive or negative? That is called retained earnings. If it is positive, profit. If it is negative, it is losses. But they are all the result of 1 year's operation. In the same way, there is a result of one janma, which is a combination of good and bad karma earned. We earn good and bad karma. That is our yearly account, profit and loss account, equivalent. Then there is something called balance sheet. See, these retained earnings are taken to the balance sheet because that's where the continuity is. If it's added as a liability, or is added, subtracted, whichever way you want to do it, put it on the asset side or the liability side and all that. So there is something called assets and liabilities, which says what am I left with after these long years of operation? What is my worth? In the same way, the jiva, which goes through janma after janma, accumulates vasanas. Those are the assets and the liabilities which is carried over. So the accounting basics and Vedanta and Sanatana Dharma are the same. They talk the same thing, because that has assumed a going concern. We have assumed a eternal journey of life. So this is the equivalence between the two, and all these are available in our Sanatana Dharma framework. So making sense of the janma, we have to first understand it is just an opportunity to play the game of life. What is this janma? This janma must be viewed as one more opportunity which God did not create. I will come to it later. We created. God has left everything. The locus of this game is not with the God, it is with us. That is the charm of Sanatana Dharma. The locus of this game is with us and not with the God. So it is one more opportunity to play the game of life, and one more opportunity to learn the skills of the game, one more opportunity to improve the chances of success, right? And one more opportunity to accumulate the experience of playing, one more opportunity to identify the winning criterion of this game. This is exactly what Janma is. So what do you do in a Janma? You may say, sir, I want to become a CEO, I want to get the first rank, I want to do this, I want to buy a car, I want to have a site, I want to, be famous. So they are not, they are surrogate goals. The goals for all of us in a Janma is to actually do this, making sense of this game and becoming any wiser in playing the game. And for example, we don't even know what is the winning criteria. We should actually invest our life to find out what is the winning criteria. Read the scriptures, it will tell. You ask the Santa Mahajanas, they will say. That's why Shankaracharya said, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Janani Jatare Shainam, Ihadas Dustare, Kripaya Pare, Pahimurare. Can you get me out of this? Those kinds of things. So this is, we have to make sense of Janma. Janma is not to make money, smart out people, cheat, or try to look very good. All those are very low level goals. This soul is on a very long journey. Janma is just one comma. It's one baby step in this journey. Try to understand the highway, try to understand the destination, and try to make sure you are moving towards the destination, not moving away from the destination. These are all what the Janma is for. Now, how is this creativity, how is this continuity created? This is another very important question. Moment you say multiple janmas, then I did some mischief. Can I run away? I told you I have to barcode you. So the question is, how do I barcode you now? So that is where if you read our scriptures, our Vedanta, Granthas and all the Puranas and all that, you will find there are three shariras that we have, three bodies. One is the Sthula Sharira, this what you see, this gross body with its bells and whistles called Karmendriyas and Jnanendriyas. All these pair of limbs and legs and eyes and ears, Navadvara Puri is what they say. So what you see outward, about which a lot of people are very concerned, they spend a lot of money and time to make it look proper. One day it is going to fall anyway. That's okay. So it's called Sthula Sharira. It's a gross body. Then there is something called Sukshma Sharira, which is Antakarana, which is the backside of the Panchendriya, the Pancha Indriyas, Pancha Tanmatras, Pancha Pranas, Pancha Bhutas, okay, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara, Manas, all these are Sukshma. Why are they called Sukshma? Because they don't need the physical body to play out their rules of the game. If you have any doubt, think about the dream you had yesterday. You are sleeping in your bed, but actually you're walking on the streets of New York and then doing a shopping, meeting your friend there, having a chat, or went and saw a IPL cricket match. All of that this Sukshma Sharira can do without the help of Sthula Sharira. So your identity is established in Sukshma Sharira also. Sometimes you can not use Sthula Sharira. You can use Sukshma Sharira only and do whatever you want to do. So that is a second tag, which is a little subtler. Then there is something called Karana Sharira or Linga Sharira. This is the fellow which will escape from this body when a person dies. That is that tag. That is the one which carries away along with it what is called vasanas. If you want to know about it, you should read, chapter 3 of Prashnopanishad. In the Udhana Vayu description, chapter 3 of Prashnopanishad, a little bit it is explained in Chandogya Upanishad, it is explained in many places. It is explained. Probably you will see it in, Garuda Purana in a big way, the whole journey of what happens and so on. So that is called Linga Sarira. That is the non-erasable tag of this soul, this Jiva. That is the barcode. Now, and it takes the vasanas and goes. If I had said this 30 years back, people will think I am talking fantasy. They will say, how is all this possible? You are talking too much of fantasy. Today, people will not say fantasy because you have what is called cloud. And this cloud requires only a Karana Sharira, which is my Office 365 account. I need only my username and password. Moment I put the username and password anywhere, it will open up. In other words, you carry your data, you carry all your information, carry all your money. It is all digital cash. You carry all your sampat, everything in a DMAT form, which is just your username and a password. That is the Linga Sharira of this Vyavaharika world today. So if you think this is not fantasy, this is also not fantasy. The only thing is you are not able to see it. So since you are not able to see it, science has told us don't believe in all things. Such things don't exist. Because that is the scope of science in which it is operating. Anything which cannot be seen, anything which cannot be experienced, anything which cannot be verified, don't exist. That is the position science has taken. So that is like a cat closing its eyes and says the world has become dark. There's a world which is outside of science. Science has found 0.5% of the world. 99.5% of the universe, nobody knows how many Milky Ways are there, what kind of star systems, solar systems are there people living, what are they? Nothing we know. We think as though we know everything. In fact, we do not even know how many unique species of animals and plants exist in this world. Science does not know it. It is putting some probability models and coming with some estimates. God's creation don't underestimate. We don't even know how many species are there in this world, leave alone the universe. So therefore, science has, of course, within that limitation, it is some doing very useful. Understand the limitation and use it. Don't think that is Brahma Satya. So these vasanas is carried by the Linga Sharira, that brings the continuity for the soul. The soul can never escape. When it comes back, automatically it detects and opens the account. So when you are born next time, so what is the meaning of it? You are born next time, your account opens with all your credits and debits. That's what it is.